Everybody, it's your boy Kyser, back again with another video. I wanted to do something a little different this time though. As I mentioned before, my very first video, I have a friend who's interned at Disney after her very first year at Tech. Though she is currently studying abroad in Spain, she's thrilled to be joining us today. Welcome, my peer, my best friend, Angelique.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so first of all, how is Spain?
To be honest, it's a little weird. It's like for me coming from Puerto Rico, it's like the mix of that and also the US just like smashed together.
Yeah.
And right now I've been here for like a week and a half. So getting adjusted to the jet lag and also starting school, it's just been like thrilling.
Yeah. Did you get your currency exchanged before you left?
Oh no.
Just had to
Honestly,
check that.
yeah, no, I didn't do that. It was like literally I got on the flight and I was like, oh shit, I forgot to actually bring money with me. And then I had this card called Travel X, but some people just decided to hack it and like they've been down for now like 2 months and I didn't know.
Oh,
So I just like got to the airport and I exchanged the currency there. At least it wasn't as expensive, but right now I'm carrying like 50s, so they're like useless, and I also need to open a bank account. It's been that part
so
has
you have
been
to open a
horrible.
bank account? You have to open a
Yeah,
bank.
because the foreign currency or the foreign fees are actually cheaper from here, or like there are none. But from the US, you get like 3% or something. So aside
Oh,
from the currency change, you also have to pay the company that you like have the money in. Makes
oh,
sense, but if
that
I really
makes
want to
sense.
save money, I should do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Dang. But I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy your time over there. I had originally planned to go over there, but I chose not to.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's so
But
sad.
anyway, let's talk about Disney, okay?
Mm.
So I know, of course, you worked at Disney your first year, after Tech, your freshman year, and you worked as a, tell me if I got this right, a production technology engineer intern. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right? Yeah. And so, how did that come about? Like, how did you get that position? How did you go about, talking, interviewing, all that good stuff?
Okay, so the whole story.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
From the top,
Um,
top.
where to start? Okay, so actually, as a first year at Tech, we're kind of like always recommended to like seek for internship and stuff. So
Yeah,
I remember doing the career fair. I mean, we're both on the same grade.
yeah, we were both there.
Um,
Actually, I think we met with the same recruiter actually for Disney,
yes,
because
yes.
Disney was the only, well, they were one of the only companies accepting freshmen as interns.
Mhm.
So yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, actually, so funny story. Kaiser decided we woke up like really early. They opened like at 7, and he woke up like he decided to go to Disney, and I decided to go to Microsoft. I'm making the line with Microsoft. They totally like not ignore me, but are not like that interested. I don't know why. And then like just kidding. And then with Kaiser, he goes up to the lady, and I'm just like, well, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm just gonna like join him in the line. And she decides to like tell him, he's like, well, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then she asked me, which was 10 times shorter. She was like, are you going as Grace Hopper? And I was like, yes. And she just like totally skipped me. And I was like, this is great. She was like, find me a Grace Hopper. I'm like, okay, I'm
Oh,
going to hold you to that. Um,
what's Grace Hopper exactly?
yeah. So that's basically how it started. So Grace Hopper is a conference for women in technology. I mean, men are invited,
But they're
but
not invited.
they're
Yeah.
not invited. Yeah. So you get to network, you get to meet other amazing women like within like 50 to like 15-year olds. So it's like an age range that is amazing. There's speakers from all over the world just to talk about their experiences within the work field and also to inspire other people, I guess. So I always wanted to go since I was like in high school, but you had to be a first year in order to go. And Georgia Tech decided to give me a scholarship to actually go and be there.
Oh,
So after getting that opportunity, I just remember being like, okay, I want to meet people. Plus, I want to get my internship there because I didn't get one at the career fair at the school. So I'm just going around. I want like what every first year wants. I want like Apple, Microsoft, Google. I mean, you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
And I'm making like these huge lines, but for some reason, um, Pixar or just Disney was close to where the Georgia Tech booth was in, and in the travel, I have my career counselor there. Her name is Kristen Seal, and I remember just like every time that I passed by, there was like a new person. So I would just like walk by and like talk to a new person. Because you guys know they have like different divisions. They
Yeah.
have Marvel, Lucas, I mean, Disney Animation, Pixar, and live action. So I
Yeah.
was really interested in Pixar because their best movies are from that one. I mean, that's a personal opinion. I'm a Marvel fan too, but
I was about to
it's just
say, Marvel.
yeah, no, it's just like I admire their improvement in technological innovations within that field, particularly. So I wanted to work with them if I ever got the opportunity. And so I went up to the lady, she just gave me an email, and then I was like, it's fine. And I just go the next day and I'm like, I'm gonna talk to Marvel. Marvel was actually a little bit more interested, but I was like, cool. But for some reason I just didn't get an interview. That's all I was seeking for. Cause like in the first day, most of them are gone. So you have to be fast in acting with what company do you want to talk to? Because at the end of the like 3 days, you might get an offer.
Yeah.
So we're
It's like
like
your step in
basically
the door of that interview.
yes, exactly. Because after that, they either fly you out or like you literally get one in the spot, like in like an offer, basically. Um, so I'm like in the second day, basically about to be third day, and I'm done with basically all my goals. I was like, I went to all those companies, and I just go back to my career advisor, and I was like, hey, should I go up to them one more time? And then she was like, how many times have you gone? I'm like, twice. And she was like, then you shouldn't go. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I'll definitely
I'm not
go.
going. I'm not going. And then I just turn back around. I'm like, I'm going. Why not? They're right there. What is gonna go wrong? And I just waited in line for like 10 minutes. There's like thousands of people there, which is like a good thing because they have all these. And the girl finishes, and the guy is like, I have to go to the bathroom, but you have 1 minute to tell me why I have to talk to you. Up to this day, I still don't remember what I said. Um, but I wish I did. I really wish I did because I've told this story like thousands of times, and I'm always like, I build up this suspense. I'm like, yeah, I don't. Up to this day, I don't remember anything that I said on that 1 minute that I got. And he was like, okay, I can hold it. I can hold it. And he read my resume, and I spoke a little bit about my medical background and also my filmmaking side. Back then, I was just a computer science major with like robotics threads. Can you explain what threads are?
Yeah, so threads basically, you come into Georgia Tech as a CS major and you have the options of, I forget how many there are, there's like 9 or 10 threads. And basically you pick two and you just stick with them. I mean, you don't have to stick with them. You pick two and that pretty much um, gives you your concentration of your degree. So like, for example, my threads are information internetworks and people. And what I'm interested in is cybersecurity. So that's and those two threads will allow me to take classes in cybersecurity and focus in that area. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
that's much what threads are.
that's essentially. So when I came into the school, I decided to just basically do something related to like robotics. So I was like devices and intelligence. So some little artificial intelligence there. And filmmaking was something that I did just because I love, but never something that I took very serious. So the guy was like, well, would you mind meeting somebody tomorrow, like at 8 a.m.? And I was like, 8 a.m.
That's kind of early.
Yeah, sure. And I was like, is it like an interview? And then he was like, no, because our interviews are all booked up, but it's just like, I really want you to meet this person. I think it would be like ideal. And I was like,
Yeah.
sure, why not? So 5 minutes passed, he's gone. He was like, is this your number? I was like, yes. And he said, I got you an interview with the person at 8 a.m. in one of the booths. Can you make it? And I was like, hell yeah, yes. So the next day passes, it's 8 a.m. I'm there. I'm kind of scared, but just like I don't know what's gonna happen really. So the person actually they didn't have any space, and I after he introduced her, we just like walked around the whole time. And I kid you not, basically the interview, quote unquote, was just talking about like Hamilton and like In the Heights
Oh.
and just like live action. What do you think about movies? La La Land. And okay, like I have to make a pause here because this is kind of unrealistic. This is like the most like fairy tale story. Um, because it's just like we had a lot of things in common, but at the same time, her name is Camila Hidalgo. She ended up being my actual manager at the internship. Um, and I remember that like it was kind of subtle. She was trying to get all the information that she needed based on like the most casual conversations. Like, for example, she asked me about my opinion on live action, and you guys know how that's working. They're basically remaking every single animation movie. Um, so I was honest. I was like, I mean, I also didn't think I would be interning there. I was like, I just said it with like what I actually thought. I was like, yeah, you guys are just cash grabbing right now. Like you left your originality like to the side and you threw it away. Again, I didn't even know she worked in that. That's what she did and whatsoever. But I think this is a very important thing. Just be honest. Honestly, honesty can get you places. And I think the other thing is just like be like stick to like who you are, because like in the end of the day sometimes we just forget that we also have to evaluate the companies. Like, yes, we're interested in them, but we also have to see like if they're really interesting to us.
Yeah.
um
They match your values.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So she left because we've been talking for like 2 hours. She had to go do other stuff, but yeah, after that it was like a couple of more things. Like I got the opportunity to talk to the actual team. The other lady, her name was Kate, and she was from British, and like she was from England. So she had a British accent. I was like, I've never spoken to a British person. This is so cool. And she was like a cinematographer, and now she worked there, and she explained a little bit more about the job. And yeah, and then that was in October, so basically the internship. So that was it. Yeah.
Nice, nice. And the internship was in California, right? Burbank.
Yeah, I got to work in the Walt Disney office. Like I was 5 minutes away from it, like the actual one.
Yeah, nice. So how was it like moving from, because you came from Puerto Rico to Georgia Tech, which is in Georgia, of course, and then you found out you were going to Burbank. How was that experience?
So to be honest, I actually didn't make it a big deal when I got the internship. I was still trying to seek for your traditional, like, I don't know, the Explore program or like the Bold program or all these like big companies that like have their flashy first year internship or second years.
Yeah.
So when actually like well, it was actually my career advisor that she recommended. She was like, "Hey, I think you should honestly consider this." And I was like, "I mean, it's just Disney." And she was like, "Do you not know how many people would kill for that opportunity?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"You're right, but like Google."
It's like you're right, but pretty much, yeah, Amazon,
Like,
Facebook.
don't you see all these companies too? And she told me something very important, that like if you're thinking about, or if you're ever put in this position, is that you should go for a company that first values you, that you're not like an additional person or a number.
Yeah.
um and the other thing is that not always the big companies are going to be a fit for you, or like the right one for you. Like, you
True.
can experience a better and 10 times better experience at another place than like having that one, and just getting your traditional, like, I don't know, common experience that everybody else had. So I think that's what made me decide for that one. But I still, like, the whole spring semester passed and I still didn't process that I was going there. I like went to the place. I was there in the orientation. I'm like, this is cool. I'm just here. Nothing exciting. I think it was until I saw, which is like halfway through, I saw the panel for Captain Marvel, because they haven't released any artwork or anything, but we had the Marvel office in front of us. My goal was to infiltrate them, right? Um, Because why not? And I remember that like they had an artwork on the second floor, and I just like bent over and I could see the whole thing. And at that moment, I was like, "Oh my god, oh my god, I'm actually like I'm here, like I'm in the place that things get
Right.
made." Like what? And one day somebody told me that like Janelle Monáe was there, like Robert Downey Jr. was like 5 feet away from me, but I didn't know because he was in an office and nobody was supposed to say anything. Um, yeah, no, it was an overall like exhilarating experience, and I think the location didn't really like matter at all. It was more of like I'm just going where the opportunity is. So if it were like in Europe or like Iowa or something, I would still be going because it's them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Like Robert Downey Jr. being so close to you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So like during this internship or probably like before, like did you ever think I know sometimes people come to tech and they realize how hard it is or whatever, and then they like, there's that little doubt in your mind like, should I have really come here? Should I have really made this decision? Did I make the right decision? Did that ever occur to you? Or how did you overcome it if it did?
Oh, interesting. Um, ooh, okay. So I think so. You guys heard basically like how unusual my interview process was. So for me, I think like part of me just felt like I don't know. Yes, I worked really hard before, like in high school, and
Yeah.
maybe that contributed to that, but I never got like a coding question. And I know that's something that like every single person had to go through, and they were talking about it and they were just like explaining them. And I just felt like a fraud at one point. I was like, did I just get this because I'm pretty or something? Or just because I'm a diversity person? Um, and that was really scary because like I was like at that moment I realized I was like, hey, am I just like a thing they have to check off? Like, oh, she's Latina, and like, oh, she just happens to be this person in codes. She's really cool, awesome. So I think sometimes I forget, like I fall back into it. So it's not a thing that has gone away. But I did learn that the main thing is that you just have to, like, if you're a minority person or fall into the umbrella of diversity, right? Um, you just have to know that that opportunity was there for you. So you just have to take it. Like, yes, it has that name tag, but show them that you were worthy of getting that position. So yeah, during my internship, I actually got to do a lot of programming, and like I showed them like all the skills that I had and like all my filmmaking background. So I got to work on like a database for all 5 of the divisions, which was really cool. Just getting to see all the like post production work that they were doing, like things from like Guardian of the Galaxy or like Mary Poppins Returns, or like stuff that in like 5 years, or like some stuff that haven't been released but like now like Lion King and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so the NDA worries. It's
Yeah.
all right, it's all right.
Are they
Yeah.
listening? No.
um but yeah, in the yeah, that was it's an interesting experience. I think it always happens. Uh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for anyone like interested in working for Disney or a company like Disney, because I think
Hmm.
ESPN is owned by Disney. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
So
that was the other division.
yeah, because like, I mean, if I would have like that, if that little 30-second elevator pitch I did at the career fair would have worked, like I told the recruiter, like I would have liked to work at ESPN. But anyway, for anybody like wanting to work there or interested in working there, like what would you tell them? What would you say to them? Or
Hmm. What would I guess the advice part here?
yeah, yeah,
So, um, interesting. Okay. So to work at Disney, or I'm gonna be more specific because like I know every single company is different. So to work for them, I think you have to show them your passion. Everybody goes with the answer of, hey, I grew up with Disney. Well, hello, everybody did.
Everybody has, yeah.
Yeah, you're
It's a
not
Disney
special.
Channel.
Yes, like we all
Yeah.
wanted to be the one. We all like gone to the park. So it is a cute story. And
Yeah.
maybe if you want to use it to like say, yes, it inspired me to go into like programming and stuff, but I don't think it's the hook. Like it is so common that you should be different. And I think what makes you different is like saying what you're really passionate about and like how that passion relates to their company. So for
Yeah.
me, it was filmmaking, and I didn't realize it kind of how much that was kind of useful for me because I spoke the lingo of like what they wanted. It
Yeah.
was like basically a person that knew how to code and like could manage like their security stuff and stuff like that, but also knew really what was going on behind the camera and like all different divisions. So if you're really interested in art, like just go for it and mention it. You don't necessarily have to work at like Disney Animation or Pixar. You can work in like at ESPN and like be doing like their mobile part, but you're really interested in like the UX of like their division or like their mobile applications. So
Mhm.
I mean, that's something that's gonna remark you. But I think the other thing is actually knowing about the company. Like, don't go in blindly assuming you know things. Um, and don't like go there thinking that you're an encyclopedia. Also, don't like spill out all the information without being useful. Like,
Yeah.
incorporate it into your answers. And I think how like once we had like a scholarship that we were trying to like fight for, and we both had like a resume trainer and like interview trainer, and he said that you should tell all your stories, well, all your answers as stories. So
Yeah.
be a storyteller. Like that's the goal of being at Disney. Like every single person there is trying to tell a story. So tell the story of your life. Like tell
Yeah.
it with purpose. Like go from like, hey, this is the problem, and then find what was like, well, this is the question, this is the problem, and then also what the answers could be, and at the end the resolution, and just give a tiny summary if you have the time. Use those key elements to just like tell the proper story. So just to hook them in. Um,
Yeah. I totally agree. Totally
yeah.
agree.
The other part of the question, it was like how to get into Disney, advice. Yeah, I don't know
Advice.
what.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, thank you, Angelique, for taking the time to join us today. You know, it was a pleasure having you. Um, so, how can people get in touch with you if they have any questions or just want to see what you're up to in Spain? Or um, where are you working this upcoming summer?
Oh, this upcoming summer, I'm gonna be in San Francisco working for Unity, the gaming engine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think all gamers should be very familiar with Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where can people like
Fine.
contact with you or just keep up with what you're doing in life?
Awesome. So basically, I'm kind of normal in that sense. You can just find me by my name, Angelik Laboy. You can also DM me for anything. I can also do like Facebook, so like Angelik Laboy Torres. Yes, I have a second last name. Um, so yeah, it's just mainly all the social medias are just my name. And if you, like Kyser said, have any question or like want to know a little bit more about my experience at Disney, I'm welcome to help.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks.